All right, so we watched Superman yesterday. That's the second day. I think it got released like 2 days ago in Sri Lanka. So, what do you think about the movie?
முதல்ல நீ பேசிட்டு வாங்க.
I think it's an honest movie. I think that's why it worked, first of all.
Okay.
I mean, I know people are saying like, the story doesn't hit hard or anything, but I think whatever the promotion materials they put out, the movie was exactly like that. Like it didn't really like they didn't try to oversell it or they didn't try to even overhype it. Like it's a minimalistic movie. Like I'm not saying it's bad. It's good. Like when you watch 80s, 90s films, it's not heavy on CGI or action or anything, right? It's just good story. There are good characters, and you get hooked and you root for the characters. I think the Superman movie was something like that. I think that's like the core reason on why this movie worked for me and for most of the audience as well. Reminded of a very old school grounded uh, superhero movie. So yeah, I'll start with that. How about you?
No, this is, for me, it was a good film.
Mm.
This is like based on comic accurate film, right?
I
Comic
mean that's what
like
they
art
say, but
novel.
I don't know comics. So I don't
So for me, எனக்கு அது எப்படி இருந்துச்சுன்னா,
know. Mm.
it wasn't dark.
Okay.
So இது வரைக்கும் நீ பார்த்த Superman, I mean for me, Henry
Mm.
Cavill the Superman தான்.
Mm.
So Henry Cavill the Superman, when we compare it to that, to this film,
Mm.
this is very என்ன சொல்றது ஒரு wholesome ஒரு light
Light-hearted film.
light-hearted
Yeah.
film மாதிரி. This is not dark as Zack Snyder Superman.
Okay.
So this is a very good film. I'm not saying
Mm.
it's a bad film.
Mm.
I feel like என்ன சொல்றது I don't know how to say it.
Mm.
This is a Superman film. Whatever they say Superman is,
Mm.
they showed it. இது Superman இதுதான். This is who he is. அந்த
Okay.
மாதிரி. Like they say he's a good guy, an
Mm.
innocent guy who tries to be good, and then what happens and everything.
Okay. So I think that's because your introduction to Superman was Man of Steel, right?
Mm.
That was your.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think okay. So this is how Superman is supposed to be, like a very dark, broody kind of guy. And so when you saw this, it was like, okay, no, this is not the Superman I knew. So it's a bit confusing for me. Oh, it's just I can't accept it.
I never said all those things, dude.
Okay. I mean, Man of Steel is also adapted from a comic. I think it's just another iteration of Superman.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be a bit darker. And with whatever they were trying to do with that character, I think that made sense. Because in that universe, Superman is supposed to be a villain. You get it eventually. Like in
Mm.
Justice League Part 2, he's supposed to be the bad guy. So I think when you're trying to make that out of Superman, a very dark Man of Steel makes sense. You get it? I'm not saying it's bad. It's good in its way, but yeah, like I said, it just makes sense. But I think about this movie, I didn't need anything complex. You get it? Like I didn't need like a big action set piece. Like of course, Man of Steel had this huge. I would say at least 45 minutes. That the climax action scene lasted at least 45 minutes, right? I didn't need any of that. Sometimes all I need is a movie that makes me happy. You get it? I don't need big action set pieces. I don't need this insane like fuck. Superman and General Zod fought, right?
Mm.
They destroyed Metropolis.
Yeah.
I don't need any of that. So yeah, about that. But I think in Man of Steel, what you see is introduction of Superman. I think Superman wasn't really clear, didn't have a direction on what he was going to do. That's the first time he fought a big villain or fought anyone that matches his level of
Mm.
power and all that, right? So that causes a set of consequences which leads to Batman versus Superman, right? But I did like the childhood portions in Man of Steel, like growing up, how he was different from the rest, and how difficult it was to figure things out because even his parents couldn't help him. So I like that take. I think we are talking about Man of Steel
A
more
lot.
than
Yeah.
this movie, yeah. But again, coming back to this Superman, um,
James Gunn cooked. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
He cooked.
Okay, I really, really love this movie. Like, I thought this is like my favorite movie of this year. So far, this is my favorite movie of this year.
Mm.
But for you, was that the case?
This year, yeah, yeah.
This year?
This is the, I mean,
Mm.
after a long time, I saw a superhero film and came out with full satisfaction. Marvel, you have to learn from this. How to cook a film. Just learn.
No. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is how Marvel. I mean, wait, I'll get to that point slowly. To me, this movie was engaging from the very beginning. You get it? I think the screenplay, like the flow of the screenplay, was very clear, and where the movie was heading to also was very clear. Um, like I said, in the theater I watched the AC was like so high. I wanted to pee so bad, but I didn't want to get up because the every scene was like connected, and it carried the movie forward. It didn't even have like crazy amount of action. It's mostly dialogue driven, right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah,
It is dialogue driven, and then like especially the conversation between Lois Lane and then Superman,
that
that
was
was
very
very
good.
good,
It was very
very very engaging. I think the theater was just silent the entire time. And then what are the other conversations I remember? I think those were like the main points. And then of course the actors. I think they got the story right. Like they picked a very simple story and explored them with characters and their complications. And then after that, I think it's the actors. I think they casted the right people for this movie, from Superman and to Louis Lane and even the side characters like Jimmy Olsen. Everyone was casted right. What do you think about that?
casting. It just didn't suit me. Good, suit me in the sense it's just Superman. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, it is Henry Cavill. Just
Okay.
I am being biased. I know that,
Uh,
but for me, if you say Superman, it is Henry Cavill. But he did a good job. Who the David character.
yeah,
He
yeah,
did a
of
good job.
course.
I'm not saying he's bad or he's terrible at his work. He
Mm.
did a good job, but it just didn't sit with me. That's
Yeah,
all.
like I said, Man of Steel was your first
Yeah,
entry
yeah, yeah.
to Superman's world, right? I think that's why you feel like attached to him. But I have watched a couple of Superman iterations, and I gotta say, this guy was just good, very, very good. As Superman, like this is, but this is what can you can ask for. You get it? A very light-hearted, naive kind of Henry Cavill. Because sorry, Henry, I said Clark Kent
Yeah,
is what you get. But I don't think this Superman is a bit different from Henry's Superman.
yeah. He is.
He is right
He is.
because it did feel like what with Henry's character, what they tried to do is they tried to portray him as a god figure. You get it?
Mm,
This guy is another like an alien from another planet. He tries to fit in, but he realizes he is not normal.
mm,
Like so many like frames from a Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman just shows that he is a god figure.
mm,
Like remember that everyone's touching his chest and he just like such a cool shot. So he has the god figure. I think somewhere in the middle of Dawn of Justice, I noticed a point. I don't know. I could be wrong about this. Henry Cavill didn't want to help people because he got so frustrated with the politics at some point in Dawn of Justice. Like I'm not saying he didn't want to help people, but he was confused. Like, am I even doing the right thing at this point? I did feel like he felt the character went through that phase in that movie. You didn't notice anything like that?
mm,
No. And that's what, like I said, I could be tripping, but here this character was trying to fit in, trying to be one of the people. You get it?
mm.
Even the very opening of this film, like how the film opens, Superman loses his first battle. That's how it opens. Superman gets his ass kicked throughout the film. That made him very normal. Like even when that hammer of Barovia throws him to the ground, a normal guy helps him out. And even the dialogue, even he says like, "I am human. Like I wake up every day in the morning and I try to do better, try to put one foot in front of the other, and figure things out." So I think what they try to establish is like a human Superman Here it's a bit. This guy has this not a god complex, but they try to portray him as a god figure. You get it?
Yeah.
I think a guy who is powerful as Superman will be portrayed as what we see in Man of Steel, not something what we saw in this Superman. But regardless, I do not have any problem with him. Like I thought he was cool either way. And then I think out of everyone, Lex Luthor gave out the best performance. That's because Nicholas Holt is a phenomenal actor. I've seen him in. You haven't watched the X Men movies, right?
No.
He played Beast in the
Mm.
new X Men movies, and then have watched him in a couple of more movies. I think he was in the Split series also, if I'm not wrong. But forget about that. Even as a character, Lex Luthor was just very smart. Typically, in a superhero movie, you would see people just boasting the superheroes and villains, right? He is smart and everything. But in this movie, you saw him like do things like to really drag Superman down. You get it? He studied his moves and he created a lab and trained people just to attack Superman. I wasn't mad at him throughout the film. I just remember like this guy is like driven and ambitious. Like once he catches Superman, he'll like tear up. You get it? Because he's that crazy. Part of me was like maybe he deserves the win because he's trying so hard. Like I really like Lex Luthor's character. Like to go against someone as strong as Superman, you need someone who's extremely smart as Lex Luthor. And I thought they got the character right. And of course, the actor was just amazing.
And like whatever you said, like for
Mm,
me, the Lex Luthor,
actor, right?
the actor stood out more than Superman. For me,
Okay.
bro was like killing the scene. Like there was a scene where like for like straight 5 or 10 minutes he will be saying dialogues, right?
Ah,
Just
yeah. He explains,
it,
yeah.
not explaining bit
Mm,
where I think he captures Superman and he started saying long dialogue.
mm,
And then there was a shot they showed from behind, and the
mm,
sunlight directly hits him.
mm.
That scene was so cool, and the way he acted as well. Yeah, he was just very good man. For me, as I said, he just stood out. For me, in it, like in the entire film,
Mm.
if you ask me, Lex Luthor, the Nicholas,
Nicholas Hoult.
he was the best part of the film for me, at least.
Makes sense. He was very good. I mean, uh, yeah, like I said, stood out to me because of Nicholas Hoult. You get it? He was doing the heavy lifting. Plus, even like I think the scene you're explaining is in the like scope that small flight, right? The
Yeah,
lab,
yeah,
right? That's
the
what you're
lab,
saying.
lab.
Yeah. So in that he'll basically explain that his envy and Superman gets all the attention and everything, right?
Mm.
That makes him angry, and that anger drove him to the person he is today. You get it? So he uses that anger to be the best version of himself. I'm like, bro, that's some crazy ass dialogue, dude. I swear, after a point, I wasn't even mad. I wasn't even mad from the very beginning. I low-key wanted a win for him also. Twist. So what do you think? What did you think about that?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
didn't like it means it could
uh,
have been someone else. Like it was like okay,
mm,
it wasn't. It was very typical for me.
typical. Okay.
It was like okay. Even when it happened, I wasn't shocked. I was like okay.
I sat right next to him, and I think I gasped, right?
I didn't even notice
You
it.
didn't even notice it. So, look, when you say it or when it's written on paper, oh, they created a clone of Superman, it sounds so cheesy. You get it? Like you said, it's very typical of a movie to do that. Someone who's powerful as Superman, who else is going to beat him? Of course, another Superman, right? But the way the movie went, or the way as we like get engaged in the screenplay, you get lost, right? You get lost in that world, right? So when that happened, it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it to happen. So I can't say it's like the best thing to happen, but I didn't mind it either because at that point I wasn't expecting. You get it?
Yeah, even I wasn't expecting it.
Uh,
Oh, no, did I think okay, this guy is going to be a clone Superman?
Clone of Superman.
But when it happened, I was like okay, okay,
Okay,
it just happened. So
this
what
is
can I do?
to me like it was good. I was very happy, and then of course The next point is on-screen chemistry between Lois Lane. I think this is like the best pair, on-screen pair. You like Superman and Lois Lane. Because Superman and Lois Lane generally have good chemistry. Like there's a TV show called Superman and Lois. That's Superman being a father. They have two kids, and two
Yeah,
kids will be teenagers. That pair had insane chemistry, and I still think the pair we saw in this movie is somewhat close to that. It's not fair to compare because there are like four seasons and they have a family and all that.
mm,
Here it's just two people like falling in love, right? They just start dating, but still I felt like they had good chemistry, and even the dialogue, when Louis Lane talks to in that one scene, the Justice Gang will be fighting in the background, and then he says, but she says, I can't do this because I doubt everyone. And then you believe everyone, you are the exact opposite. And then Superman says, maybe that's punk rock. That dynamic was so interesting to me. I found it really, really interesting. Like two people who are like the exact opposite. They fell in love. I thought it was a nice, interesting detail. Even the scene where Louis Lane interviews Clark
mm.
was very, very interesting. I was so hooked in that scene. How it ended up being, again, that shows how naive Clark Kent is. You get it?
Mm.
Even the glasses scene, like I mean, they gave an explanation, like how the glasses helps him to disguise himself as Clark Kent. But he says it to even to the person who he just met. You get it? Like I think they figured the character out so well, and that's why this movie worked for the most part. And then the not the secondary characters. I feel like every movement, every character had a moment to shine. You know the I don't know the guy's name. The guy from Vacation, right? The brother keeps bullying him in a movie. Do you remember? Was that Vacation? Or was that you know who I'm referring to? Like Jimmy, the Louis Lane's. Every character had a moment to shine. Like I think every character was used right as well, especially Jimmy, the side character. Like I said, he had like. Do you remember the movie named Vacation or something, right?
No, I watched his films.
Ah, you haven't watched. You have
Yeah, no,
never
no.
seen him before. So they use him as this dorky, nerdy comedian, like a loser who's trying to, hit every woman he sees, right?
Mm.
Here they made him a hero, dude. Like made him like such a cool character, like a woman. He's not a womanizer, but women like him and all that. Such a cool detail. And I heard they're gonna make a spin-off series with him. Like there is a plan. I would watch it honestly. I mean, to me, of course, I have watched a couple of more iterations. Out of everyone, I like this Superman a bit more than the rest. But it's too early to say that too. Like you get it. But in this movie, he was just perfect. Doesn't mean I hate Henry Superman. It's just another take on the same character. I like that Superman as well. So I think even the character was written. I think this character is exactly taken from the comic. Like they didn't really do much tailoring to it. um, like they made the most OP character and gave him like a human weakness. Like he's naive, he just trusts everyone.
Mm.
I thought that was nice. So yeah, I can't say yet. I think we have to see. But this is a good start though. Look, this is like the starting point of this franchise, right? So they made the lead of the Justice League very likable. So I think there's like good potential to root for this character. Get it?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be good, but let's see. And James Gunn. People are saying James Gunn is the GOAT. Like it used to be Kevin Feige because he made the Avengers series work, right? But for more than 10 years, he did that successfully, and it's probably the most successful franchise of all time, I think, in terms of money and in terms of movies, also. I think they are better. But now people are like, I think James Gunn is the GOAT. What do you think? Like in terms of superhero movies or reviving franchise and all that shit.
I think it's James Feige. Yeah? No,
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
I think he is better.
better.
Bro just made one. Then it was from DC.
No, 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 no.
Mhm.
Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad
He
is
did.
bad.
Suicide Squad is. Even I hated. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't lie. I don't think I liked the second Suicide Squad. It was just annoying. Like most of the jokes didn't land to me. It was just very James Gunn to me. So I didn't like. I don't think I like the characters very much either. So yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I didn't like. I just said I don't like Suicide. I didn't like Suicide Squad.
No,
But
no, I'm talking about the second one, the one he did late, not the first one.
even that, no,
You watched both of those,
yeah,
yeah? Oh, okay.
it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
They added Peacemaker in this. Did you see Peacemaker?
I can't choose like that, but James Gunn made one of my favorite movies of all time, Guardians of the Galaxy. You get it? So it's hard for me to say which is the best movie, but I do think Superman will be a classic too. This Superman will definitely be a classic. I am not sure if it will be as good as Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I can still watch Guardians of the Galaxy. You get it? But if you ask me what movie was more engaging, I think I would say Superman. Because in Guardians of the Galaxy, there are some moments where they try to drag a bit with jokes and all that shit. It builds character for sure, but I do feel like there here and there were some dragging moments. But with Superman, I didn't feel like any drag or whatsoever. So it's hard for me to choose yet because there's some nostalgia in Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah, I do think this has the potential to be his best work because I like James Gunn's humor, but I do feel like in some movies it's done a bit too much. You get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Suicide Squad, like, it was
Yeah,
way
yeah,
too much. None of the jokes landed.
yeah. I was like, damn, can we please stop? But in this movie, there were barely any jokes. It was just serious throughout.
Mm.
I was not expecting that. Doesn't mean it's dull or anything. There are jokes, but it's just here and there. And I did appreciate it. I wanted it's fun, but it's not like fun in a very James Gunn way, if that makes sense. And then of course, cinematography, costumes, and light. I think even the costume was like very, what do you call, like if you see the Man of Steel costume, it's very artificial, right?
Mm.
It doesn't look normal. It looks alien, but it doesn't look like normal. Here, this costume looked very practical and kind of grounded. I think I like this costume more.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm,
it is obvious that this the entire thing
mm,
is a comic adaptation,
mm,
right?
mm, mm.
So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, even the movie was very colorful. I have a feeling Snyder fans are gonna hate this movie because it's the exact opposite of what he was trying to
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
You get it? It's even the movie was just colorful. Like everywhere you see, there's like some color. I mean, the movie is supposed to make you happy and all that, so I guess it makes sense. CGI was good for the most part. I did not have any complaints. Even the fight scene, I think here and there you noticed a bit of like small
mm.
issues, but for the most part, I think CJ, especially they use like 360 shots, like in most shots, in most of the scenes, and I think they did their like really best to pull it off, and I can't complain too much about it. It was nice. And then when like when the movie was gonna end, I didn't want it to end, right? Because I wanted to see more of Superman. I want to spend more time with the character, which is very rare. You don't feel like that with most movies nowadays. But here it did feel like that a lot. Even when they showed like footages, so typically, uh, even in the start of the movie, when Superman asks like for footages, right?
Mm.
Can you show me can you play my parents' video? It soothes me or whatever. That's how it starts, right? But towards the end, they'll play footages of him growing up with the Clarks, not with the Kal-El people,
Mm.
like his people, Kryptonians or whatever. I thought that was also nice. Like I know they intentionally avoided Superman's childhood portion, but towards the end, I wanted to see that. You get it?
Mm.
Like even the scene with his parents was like really good.
Yeah,
I Loki wanted to see more of that, but and then cameos. Towards the end of the film, I did think like, oh, they are gonna tease Batman or show Batman or someone and gonna ruin the movie, but they didn't. Only the Supergirl cameo, and I feel like that was also done tastefully. Like it didn't really like get in the middle of the movie or anything. You get it?
yeah.
It was done right, and then Bradley Cooper's cameo. That was a shocker. I was
Mm.
not expecting that. And then